So yeah, we're back with you guys, the Horsemen. Hopefully we'll get the group back together here in a week, and we will be ready for more Torg Tuesdays! Welcome to Torg Tuesday. I am Jay, I'm your GM. These guys are 3/5 of the Horsemen group, as you may have tuned in last week to discover what happened with Anton and Lady Salvo. If you haven't watched that, I don't want to say don't watch tonight, but you do want to catch up so that you can understand how the B team came to rescue the Horsemen. So, we are just going to dive right in. With me tonight as representing the Horsemen in all of their glory, we have Maddie playing Genvieve, not to be confused with Maddie playing Gemma or Maddie playing Shelley. Completely different character, same Maddie. Michael is playing Tyrannic, our Adinos, and Lily is back as the scariest character in any game that I run, as Edith. So welcome back, everyone. Chat, I hope you are doing well tonight. To Phantom and JD, thank you as always for moderating and carrying on discussions as we go through this. So, when we last left the three of you, it was a year ago. You guys had secured your deal with the Deathless and retrieved from him, or for him, some data files from the torment grid, and inadvertently, I don't think it was necessarily on purpose, but you guys also rescued a creature known as Pazuzu, an aspirant, a Tharkold techno-demon who has aspirations for something besides just evil and torture. And inadvertently, he followed you back to the meat space, if you will, and possessed the body of one of the Deathlist's hackers, one who may or may not have already been dead. But agreeing to join you for the time being, you traded your information with the Deathless. You discovered what Rasputin's heir was doing in that warehouse. You discovered something about a prisoner transfer of prisoner B1U3. And you found yourself on the way, being taken care of in, if not the lap of luxury, at least the shoulder blades of luxury, on the way to Tunguska Crater. So that's where we are going to pick up. I apologize, my contact is doing weird things tonight. All right, so you have journeyed. Yes, Mr. Furious, you can keep him. Also, thanks to Joshua, who comments on all of our YouTube posts. I do think that they needed more holy hand grenades last week. I think that was just a legitimately appropriate thing to bring when dealing with possessed Kleist monks who may or may not be trying to tap into a source of something that is not of this world or of this cosm. All right, so you were let off several miles away to take the rest of the way on foot. The snow is crunching beneath your feet. You can see this wall of trees as you kind of crest what you hope is the lip of the crater. Now, you have seen there is a massive recently built road that kind of comes up from the southwest and curves up and through a part of the crater that has been dug out, and you can see that there's a large sentry post there, massive gates, towers with what seem to be large caliber machine guns, and enough Volkov soldiers to operate all of them, which is why your escort took you around to the northern end, several days out of your way, to get you to here. Now, as you approach, you do see there's the tree line There is, every so often you've noticed people kind of patrolling the ridge before descending back down into the crater. But you've also noticed a strange miasma kind of rising up out of the crater. It was hard to pin at first. It looked just sort of like a cloud that was sitting over the crater. But the closer you've gotten, you've realized the cloud hasn't dissipated. It extends just over the crater, and it casts a pall or a shadow over the insides of what lays beyond the crater wall. So that's where we're going to pick up. That's where we're going to start. Restart, I'm just saying there might be a reason why this group got the aspirant. So we're going to start there. Edith, Genvieve, and Tyrannic as you head up into the canyon. What are you guys doing?
Is it nighttime or daytime?
What time would you like it to be? When would you make your ascent up the wall of the crater?
Cover of darkness, probably.
That works for me. All right.
Are we going to be doing this right before dawn, so that at an opportune moment the sun can come out?
Perhaps on the third day.
The sun can come out and hit all of our glitter and just blind all of our enemies. See where you're at, Edith.
Yeah.
Hey, vampires don't sparkle, but you guys do.
We really do. Can we pick up any kind of radio chatter to see if we can pick up what's going on?
Give me a computers roll. What are the rest of you guys doing as you approach?
I guess just trying to be as sneaky as possible till we get to a place where we can see what's in the crater.
All right. Go ahead. And if you are not listening for radio chatter, you can give me a stealth check. Maddie, if you want to stealth as you go up, this will be a multi-action. You will take a -2 to both actions.
I got a 10.
A 10? I mean, as long as the guards just have a standard fine, you should be okay.
Okay.
If you would like to spend something, now is the time to do so.
Okay, I'm getting your hint that I should spend something.
So I had to spend a
14.
possibility, but it'll. Oh.
All right, so Tyrannic got a 14 on his stealth. Edith and V.
17 for stealth and 18 for computers.
Okay. And Edith, what did you
Also
get?
a 17 for stealth.
All right, wow, you guys are sneaky. Also, you don't notice Pazuzu with you at this point.
Oh, he just disappeared?
You hear this wet squelching noise, and Pazuzu is now standing next to you.
Where'd you go?
I inverted the flesh of this body and stepped into its own shadow. Can you not do that? You do see there's like this red spray of mist, like blood, staining the snow around him where he appeared. I could teach you.
No, thank you. Oh, what did you see while you were in his shadow?
The same thing that we see around here.
We
are sneaking into this spot, correct? For some righteous and holy purpose.
Right.
And then, Tyrannic, are you looking at him as he starts to stealth again?
Yes.
Give me a willpower roll, because when he says he inverts the flesh of his form, that is basically what's going on, and you see that hacker basically ripped inside out and then disappears.
Oh wow. Well, I got a natural 20.
Yeah, I absolutely don't.
All right, so I'm guessing that with the explosion, you're going to meet the fear DC or DN, and you will be fine.
Okay.
All right, so Genvieve, you got an 18 on your chatter. There's a ton of radio communication going on inside the crater. There are 3 patrols moving around the rim of the crater, just on this side. You hear that Volkov will be here shortly. You don't. There's no time or date really given to that. And that Rasputin prepares to unlock the second seal.
I'll share those 3 with the group and say 2 of those are concerning. Well, I mean, all 3 are concerning, but like 2 were like really concerning. The second seal business sounds terrifying, and Volkov getting here soon, I think, puts us on a timeline. What are your thoughts?
I think we should do a ritual that we Adinos do in my tribe. Everybody put your hands into the middle. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Friendship.
There's this red, like this almost flayed hand that just appears out of nowhere and wetly smacks on the top of the stack. And then disappears.
All right, now we're ready.
I was gonna whisper, Pazuzu, do you
Pazuzu.
know anything about this second seal?
I do not. This is not part of Tharcold. I am wildly disconcerted with being this far away from my own reality. But as you mentioned, this may be a way to continue down the aspirant's path.
Fair. Being the Witch Jam, can we get Cosm cards?
Not just yet.
I don't like it when you do that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, do we want to try and sneak in? See if we can figure out where this is going down?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, is Peaches with us?
Peaches is always with you.
I guess Peaches, well, can
Can
Peaches...
Peaches do some like recon?
There you go.
So the question is, so here's the thing, what's Peaches' mind?
What's Peaches' mind? That's a good question. I'll just tell you he's very smart, but I'll have to look up. I also can talk to him. I have the commune with animals thing.
It's a miracle,
If that
yes?
helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking
His
about
mind
it.
is a 5.
Is a 5? Alright, if you would like Peaches to try and scout, you are welcome to. Peaches will have to give me a stealth roll to see what happens if he goes over that crater by himself. Now I just desperately want to kill off Malachi and have Restar play an aspirant. I think that would be great. I'm not going to. Go ahead and give me the stealth check on Peaches.
Stealth check. Okay, so dexterity. Oh, okay. So he's got a 13.
He has a 13. All right, so you see Peaches go up over the, launches himself into the air, heading over the wall, the ridge of the crater. And I'm gonna just see what these guys' finds are. All right.
They're terrible because Peaches is awesome.
It is nighttime.
It is nighttime. That is, I feel like, the typical "this is why we should succeed" discussion.
It's not not daytime, it's nighttime.
It's nighttime.
It's nighttime.
That's right. That's right. Nope, not gonna go down that rabbit hole. All right, so Peaches sails out over the ridgeline, and eventually comes back and lands down. Hops on one leg on the branch, hops on the other leg of the branch, and then sort of cocks his head as if waiting for you to do something.
All right, I will try and talk with Peaches.
All right.
That is a good success.
All right. What does a good success on communing with animals gets you?
The animal obeys and is instructed, and as long as it doesn't recklessly endanger its life. So it doesn't say anything about like its ability to talk with me. It just says it obeys me.
Oh, so you don't actually have a way to talk to Peaches.
Maybe is it like a telepathy thing? Is that how this?
No, you just have a trained pterodactyl. You don't necessarily have a. Let me just grab this real quick. We
You
will
guys have
consult
time figured out,
the
right?
glorious Living Land book.
It says it can communicate basic ideas.
Okay, there we go. All right, so here's the basic idea that it is. It communicates to you. There's a lot of badness on the other side of the ridgeline. Lots of 2 legs with shiny sticks. And dead trees.
All right. Well, nothing surprising there.
No. JM, since we know that there's 3 patrols going by, have we been here long enough to figure out like their rotation?
Yeah, give me a evidence analysis roll. And I agree with Greg that there's also many delicious animals on the other side of the ridgeline.
It's 15.
It's a 15. All right, so that's good success. Yes, you have about 10 minutes between each patrol. And from what you can tell from the chatter and just the way they appear and disappear along the edge of the ridgeline, this is just one of those. It doesn't look like the crater is at least the other side of the crater. It definitely looks like they're hiking up to get to a part of the crater wall that they can actually tread on before descending back down. Following the path around. It's not an even break, if that makes sense.
So do we want to wait until one passes and then try and scurry in?
Yeah.
Edith, you're our hunter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get closer and see what we're gonna be walking down into.
Okay. I mean, you got a stealth of 17. You can.
I'm thinking it's like a storm the castle. Yeah, I would like to get up closer before we decide if we're gonna follow them in or steal their uniforms.
All right. So Edith, as you crawl up. What was that?
Only we had a wheelbarrow and a cloak.
Yeah, you got to list those things as under assets. All right, so Edith, you crawl up there, and as you get the closer you get, it's weird. The dirt smells familiar, and as you kind of crest over the top of the line, you look down into like that forest from your vision. It's all shrouded though under this pall. But the smell that's coming up, there's this like the smell of like the smell of attar, and there's a little bit of like a charnel smell coming up as well, kind of this sickly sweet smell. It smells like home. And you see what Peaches is talking about. There are several rather scary trees down in the valley in a small dead clump. Trees like you saw in Central Park. Trees like you know exist in Oroche.
All right, then I think our best option is to sneak in after one of the patrols.
Okay, Edith, do you see somewhere we can sneak to? Like, do you see an outhouse or a storage shed or something?
I like to believe that I do.
If she can see what? What was that?
A place that we can take cover.
Give me a find roll, Edith, as you kind of hold onto this sharp edge of stone that time has really started to wear away, but wear away on a geologic scale. So,
what does an 11 do for me?
So you're looking for a place to hide, right? So you can clearly see the path here. A little platform that's been reinforced by metal rods that have been driven, like pipes that have been driven into the ground. There's a step down on either side, and the path kind of drops very quickly to 20 or 30 feet below the ridgeline. But if you're willing to take like a sliding kind of run tumble straight off the platform, you would be in the tree line within moments, and there's probably a really good place to hide in there.
How do you feel about that, V and Tyrannic?
Is this the regular tree line or is this the creepy tree line?
The creepy tree line is sort of so it's bowl shaped, right? Forest that kind of comes down to that large pit that you saw. Edith can clearly see a small compound rings the center of this pit. About 8 concrete prefabbed buildings. There's been a large deforestation towards the south, where they've cut down a bunch of trees to just make a path, and you can see there are several buildings right off of that road that lead all the way back to the gate.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as we're not like running into the creepy trees.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you guys wait. And what I need from all of you as you go tumbling over the edge and start sliding down this ridgeline towards the trees, what I would like from each of you is a maneuver roll.
Do I get any help from using my shield as a sled?
Ooh, you certainly do. I will give you a +1 to the roll.
Very good.
18.
Edith just sort of crushes several small creatures on her way down and doesn't really notice much aside from a small squeak and a bump.
I'll take Peaches and our friend in my sled too if they'll fit.
You still don't see Pazuzu, but Peaches definitely rides on the front, like body extended out over the front end of the sled or of your shield. Some might say like a sled ornament, or Maybe he just enjoys the rush of wind in his face. Genvieve, what did you get?
Had to use a possibility, but I got a 16.
All right. All three of you make it down into the tree line and are able to hide yourself among the forest as you kind of descend down into the bowl of the crater. Now, as you descend down in the bowl of the crater, the trees in your vision and the trees from above, they looked like, trees. But as soon as you crossed over the crater, the temperature rose from low to mid 30s to about 70 degrees. So like you guys are steaming in this air. The air is far more humid. You can see that there are strange black vines that are sort of wrapped around the trunks of the trees and are very clearly secreting, different word, secreting something that's eating into the bark of these trees. They're choking the life from these trees. And to answer Maddie's earlier question, here are your new Cosm cards. Genvieve, you have Ominous Portents. Tyrannic, you have Sinister Secrets. And Edith, you have Sunset? Question mark? Everything just feels muggier, more oppressive in the air. That scent of attar is still kind of very cloying in your nose. You can taste it now. It's coming from the flowers on the vines choking the trees. And there are some very large footprints in the loam of the forest.
Like what, like footprints or like tyrannic footprints or like?
Well, as you take a look at them, they look almost like a human, like a skeletal human foot, except, like ankle to toes, they're about the length of your shin bone. So they're like 3 or 4 times as long as your footprints.
Can I phone a friend and have Shelly show up, please?
No, but you could ask Edith. She is a monster hunter in her own right.
I just want the holy hand grenades. Edith, do you recognize these footprints?
I have tracking.
Give me a tracking roll.
Now, if I rolled a 10 and it exploded, my second roll does not follow the same rule.
It does.
As a possibility would,
no,
right?
It does not. Your second, it's 10 plus whatever you roll.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just needed to make sure. In tracking, I have rolled a 15.
All right, so that's a good success. So I will tell you one thing, and then you can ask me one question. You know what these are. You have tracked them through the forests of Orosh. You have hunted them to put an end to their tortured and miserable existence. Some would call them Gospog of the Fourth Planting, but you know them by another name. You know them as Reapers. What would you like to know about Reapers, Edith?
In what way are they vulnerable?
You know that you have to chop these horrific amalgamations of corpse and rotted plant matter into small pieces to actually break them apart. I will give you a flip side to that question. You know that as minions of the Gaunt Man, they're immune to interaction, so they're immune to like intimidation and taunts and telepathic abilities. You also know that they're immune to poison and anything that like you guys like to do. You know, like breathing, eating, sleeping. What?
Shooting things.
I mean, they do have that in common. In the Venn diagram between Edith and Gospogs of the Fourth Planting, shooting things is the one place that they overlap.
Okay.
So we don't want to make friends with these.
I mean, I don't want to make friends with them, but I probably have Gospog trophies, somewhere, but not on me right at this moment.
Like you don't just have a necklace of Gospog parts.
I mean, jewelry is just going to get you choked in a fight, but okay.
I love Edith. All right, what's the plan? So as you guys are sitting there looking at these tracks, by the way, there is a rumble through the earth, and you see flocks of birds just sort of take flight and fly away.
Can we tell how close the next set of guards are from us?
You've descended now and moved into the forest. They're up above on the ridgeline. You can't even necessarily see the ridgeline from where you're at right now.
Okay, but in front of us, between us and that noise, can we tell if there's anything close?
Give me a find roll.
Yep, that's a 0. So that is a. I am not the best person to scout that out.
You guess. You guess that no one's coming.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Edith, I think we're at your disposal. We're gonna have to rely on you to get through this because this is very foreign territory to me.
All right, Edith. What's your plan?
Right at this moment, I wouldn't necessarily call it a plan.
What's your
inclination?
Inclination, direction of movement. I don't know, astrological sign, because maybe we can divine something from that.
Well,
you know that
I don't.
Sorry, I was gonna say you know that the dim thread trees are basically southeast of here, a little bit closer towards the center of the crater. That's where this big complex is going on, and then to the south of that is the road that leads in and out of the facility.
So the question is, well, I mean, the inclination that I have is to go destroy the dim thread trees. However, we know what happened last time. And there are more of them this time.
There are, and with your tracking roll, I mean, it may not be preferable, but if you need to book a quick escape, you know you can get out through a dim thread tree.
Okay. Well, I mean, where do you guys want to head? You want to head?
Yeah, let's
To
go.
where they're
Let's
bringing
go
people in and
clear
out?
the streets.
I mean, we need to figure out what they're doing. I just don't know the best way to get around what's here. So we should probably try and head towards where you saw the most action, maybe the most buildings, whatever's going on there. Because obviously they're trying to do something here, because a Roche shouldn't be here.
It should not.
True. All right, so we'll stealth our way down to where the buildings are.
All right. So you make your way through the forest. It does take you quite a while. Almost 2 hours to kind of navigate through just from the size of the crater, the denseness of the foliage, trying to stay away from these weird black vines that almost seem to writhe if you get too close to them, as if they are expectantly waiting for you to touch them. Peaches does not have a lot of room to maneuver, but is he riding on your shoulder, Tyrannic? Are you trying to keep him airborne?
Yeah, if the trees are high enough, he's on my shoulder.
All right. So as you get to the edge of the buildings, again, these concrete prefab buildings kind of surround that large pit in the center. And from what you can tell as you get closer, that pit is not natural, a natural occurring feature of the crater. You can see several large earth movers on the other side of the buildings, several large piles of slag and things that have just been excavated out of the center. There are a ton of Spetsnaz and other Volkov loyalist army members moving around. You actually see 2 jeeps and a small pickup truck that has a enclosed metal box approach the ring of dim thread trees, and several rather large people, as well as a small crane. They kind of lift the box off of the back of the pickup truck, put it onto a small modified bobcat, and they start driving this thing down into the large excavated opening under this dim thread tree, taking it down. Edith, honestly, the dim thread trees just miss home so much. It's been so long since you've been in Oroche. But that's kind of what you see. You can see that there's a large people moving in and out of the buildings. There seems to be some sort of commotion beyond the buildings around the pit. You can see several tall poles with loudspeakers, and there seems to be this low guttural chanting that's being broadcasted over the whole camp from these loudspeakers. And there's a pause, and you swear you hear someone scream, but it falls away pretty quickly.
I'm gonna turn to the group and go, Pazuzu, are you here?
Yes.
Ugh. I'm never gonna get you. Pazuzu, do you think maybe you could get us some uniform?
Uniformed what?
No, just like the clothing uniform that those people are wearing.
I am on it.
Perfect.
About 15 minutes later, 3 blood-soaked uniforms kind of hit the ground in front of you. One of them still has a twitching leg in it.
Cool. Also,
You do hear disembodied munching.
Oh,
Ugh.
I thought you weren't supposed to do that.
You asked me to.
You
I'm sorry.
asked you- okay.
Hold on. You are right. Talking with one's mouth full is incredibly rude.
We have so much work to do.
Yeah.
Do we want to take care of that chanting? I don't like the chanting.
I don't think Tyrannics
Yeah,
see these kind of trees before. Edith, is it easy to burn them down?
Tyrannic, this actually reminds you a lot of the jungle you are from, just from the humidity and the heat. This might be the first time in weeks that you have felt comfortable. Starting a fire here is going to be really difficult without some sort of accelerant, because these trees are, I mean, it's a very humid location. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the chanting has to do with the seals that they were talking about. And so I concur that we probably need to stop it.
Cool. Can I... Ugh, I don't know if I want to put on a blood-soaked uniform just yet. I feel like that can be a cover. Like, if someone comes running at us and be like, that thing ripped
We've been
someone...
attacked.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't know if I want to deal with the twitching leg yet. Can I try and shimmy over to one of these poles with a loudspeaker and, like, I don't know, stealth. I don't know how to do that.
Your stealth roll is writing. Don't worry.
Cool. And fiddle with this to disrupt. Now, here's the question, group. Do we just want it turned off, or do we want, like, feedback? Like, do we want them to know we're here yet, or do we just want to, like, stop the chanting?
Yeah, probably feedback just to mess with them a little bit. Or your favorite 80s cover band or something like that, too. That's always an option.
Ooh, okay. Okay, cool. Can I try and mess with the loudspeakers?
You would have to get to them, and you would have to crawl up to the box.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be easy. Okay, well then in that case, gonna put on the blood-soaked uniform. And try and shimmy up this pole.
I feel like with that reaction, I don't need to add any descriptions of the blood-soaked uniform. But I'm going to. It's still a little chunky. All right, so you get to this place and you start. I mean, they've got the little wire hooks for you to plant your boots and climb up. And you get up to the top. And now that you're over the top of this building, Genvieve, you can see that there are 4 more of these poles on the outside of the buildings. 2 you can clearly see kind of just a couple of degrees off from each of your poles, and then the other 2 out to the side. You can see that there is over the pit there has been constructed a small concrete and steel platform, reinforced, that reaches about a third of the way out into this shaft that descends down into the hole. You can see that there are some sort of characters inscribed on the platform, on the circular platform that kind of is at the end of this path. And it's, if you had to guess, you would guess that there's some sort of pictographic character, possibly Chinese. You can't really tell from this distance, but there is someone with a robe, and there are several people that are kind of bound next to him, and you see as the chanting kind of reaches another crescendo, this person picks up somebody and they go falling into the pit with a gurgling scream. There's another massive rumble. The poles start to sway a little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and disrupt this chanting.
All right, give me a... It's not really a computer's roll because there's no computer here. It's definitely going to be a mind roll. Let me see. Do you have science?
No.
All right, we're going to go with a mind roll.
Okay. If I played Reality Surge, could I use computers?
Sure.
Sweet. Okay. Okay. Ow. My dice need to go in jail. That's better. Okay, so that gets me to a 19.
That gets you to a 19. What are you... what are you trying to do?
So would you say like the chanting is in like 4/4? Is it in 3/4? Is it in 6/8?
You know,
like,
it's in a good old fashioned it is, you know, a good old fashioned Latin chant. So it's got kind of that, you know, that Latin-y rhythm.
Okay, great. I'm
JM doesn't know what liturgical chants normally are in the Western Rite.
They're usually what I'm planning to do is just gonna screw with that. So Michael, should I do Philip Glass Einstein on the Beach? So there's a lot of counting, but it's also in like 5/8, 7/8, or should I just do Dave Brubeck Take 5 in 5/8?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty jazzy, so I think Take 5 is what my vote would be.
Cool. So I'm going.
Edith, do you have any anything to weigh in on this musical? No. All right.
Oh yeah, no, I like Michael's theme because I'm gonna go Take 5, which is in 5/8, but it's also jazz, so it's highly improvisational. So it's never kind of the same, keeps changing. Like I'm just really gonna screw with their little chanting brains.
That's good for a fight montage too. So I think that's a good choice.
Exactly. Here we go.
All right. Well, it's funny that you bring that up, Michael.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So Tyrannic, as you and Edith stand there kind of between the buildings and the gospog trees, both of you just give me a quick mind roll. I just want to, you know, for no reason whatsoever.
Sure, yeah. Oh man, I got a 9.
Okay. Edith, what did you get?
I was busy sending clever tweets, not tweets, messages, and
To the chat.
didn't roll yet. This is super bad and not good at all, but I rolled a 1.
Well, you are in Orosh, and you are not currently carrying... so both of you are just completely surprised by whatever will happen next. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So Edith, or Genvieve, you get your... You kind of reach out into the realm of possibility and pull a bit of the cyber papacy with you. You can kind of see this very sort of low tech, almost telegraph style junction box switch over to a hard light node that you're able to interface with, and you blare this music, and a lot of things happen at once. First of all, the man on the platform turns and glares at you with eyes that are as red as the sun. You also there's another rumble through the whole thing. And you turn around to see two of the Volkov soldiers kind of step out, and they notice. I mean, they clearly notice Edith and Tyrannic. They're not paying attention. So you're kind of above them. You can hear, "Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Okay." And what they do is not what you expect, because as they bring their guns up, one of them pulls out a small whistle that seems to be made from a large bone, and they give it a little, they breathe into it, and no sound comes out. And you can hear a sharp crashing noise from the forest, and two of these reapers, these bone creatures that have scythe-like, they look like wings at first, but you realize they're just these bony scythe protrusions coming out of their back. They step towards Edith and Tyrannic. And V, as you are looking at that and then back at Rasputin's heir, you can hear clearly in your mind, "Genvieve, pleasure to have you join us. I believe your presence here fulfills certain requirements that we have. I will be with you shortly." And as he turns around to walk back to the edge of the pit, he just callously kicks the last two people over the edge into the pit. And we're going to go into initiative rounds. Or as I should say in Torg, we're going to draw a drama card.
Drama!
I don't know. I do not know. All right, V, as you're the only one who's aware you're in combat, do you want to let me know when to stop shuffling?
Sure, stop right now.
All right, you want me to cut?
Yes, please.
All right. So, not necessarily what I expected, but you know what? We're going to roll with it.
Everybody loves fighting in 5.8.
Maddie, if you could just hum that for the rest of the night, I would appreciate that. No?
Well, that's why I was leaning towards Einstein on the beach, because I could have just counted for the rest of the evening.
And been fine?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. So, villains will be going first with an inspiration, and heroes will be going second. Taunt is the approved action. And these two things come barreling out of the forest. Now again, Gospog are sort of a bizarre, horrific amalgamation of corpses and rotting plant matter that emit this, that you, Edith and Tyrannic, you both are well aware that they're there, as they emit this horrid shriek. I'm going to need both of you to give me fear tests. So roll willpower or spirit. You can see these ones wear wispy cowls, long cloaks. They have necklaces of skulls, but unlike Edith's, these are human skulls as opposed to just Gospog skulls. And you can see that they have scythe-like claws on their back that kind of extend out and reach down.
15.
All right.
14.
15 and 14 both are good enough to not. I don't know if you guys are following the chat, but they are choreographing tonight to different music, which is just spectacular. Someday we'll release a director's cut of this episode. All right, so Tyrannic and Edith, these two things come running directly at you. They stand about 9 feet tall. And you know that they, as Edith told you, they're immune to sort of the frailties of the human condition. So, Edith, the first one's coming in at you, and that is a natural 20. That is a strong start there, dice. Edith, what's your unarmed defense?
12.
12. All right, so that's that. So that's up that much. And what's your toughness?
I don't like when you obfuscate. I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, if you don't want me to obfuscate, I rolled a 41, which is a plus 12, which negates your defense
Good
completely, meaning that they are up 17 on you. What's your toughness?
Yeah, so total toughness is 12.
And how much is armor?
Well, 3.
Okay.
But my total toughness counts the armor.
It does, but these creatures have AP.
Rude.
Love you, Edith. All right, so I got a 20 versus your toughness of 9 due to the AP. So that's up 11. That's 2 wounds and 4 shock. One of these bone scythes just jabs into you. Would you like to soak that while I roll for Tyrannic?
Yes, please, but this dice is in timeout because it's not being helpful.
Tyrannic, what's your defense and toughness?
Defense is 12. Toughness is 12.
Any armor?
I do. Yeah, I have my like wearing armor for +2, and I have my shield. I don't know if I have that out or not for +3.
All right. So, Lily, are you soaking?
Yes, with a 17.
Oh, okay. A 17 ignores 2 wounds and all of the shock. So, what does it look like when you sort of bend reality to not suffer this?
I am focusing on, the times that I've fought these things before and my memories of home, and ground myself in that.
All right. Tyrannic, you too will also take 2 wounds and 4 shock unless you spend a possibility to soak.
Okay, yeah, I think I will do that.
Okay. And then
Do
it
you
will be...
medicine?
What was that?
What do I do for... Which one do I use for soak?
It is a reality check.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, nice. 18.
All right, you will soak all of the wounds leveled at you. All right, it is now the hero's turn. What are you doing? V, you see Rasputin's heir moves to the edge of the pit and has started to... He's like shouting orders, grabbing people, yelling at them, pointing in your direction.
Just gonna shimmy down a little bit. How tall? Okay, how... So we're gonna do some math.
Okay.
How tall is the pole that I'm on?
I was promised there would be no math.
Well,
the pole is 5 meters tall.
Okay, how many feet is that?
That would be about 15 feet.
Okay, and you said the gospel is like 9 feet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm gonna stay on my pole for a minute. And this is not going to go well. You said the approved action is taunt?
It is.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to taunt the Gospogs. And say... Yeah, that dropped 6th beat really kind of screws with you, doesn't it? You're moving a little funny. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, all right. We'll I guess roll with it. Now I do need to pull up the Orosh Cosm rules so that you guys know what kind of what you're getting into. So just because this is the first time some of you have been here, there are the world laws of Orosh are the law of eternal corruption. Various perks or situations will cause you to make a corruption test, which don't worry about that. You'll be okay. There's the law of fear, which is usually done by Cosm cards, and there's the law of perseverance. Oh, wait a second. A standard success only negates shock. A good success, which both of you rolled, only negates one of the wounds while in Orosh. An outstanding success still negates all. So you both took one wound. And Maddie, do not forget, Gospog are immune to being taunted. You can taunt the guards.
Oh no, I was trying to throw off the Gospog. So in that case, I will just shoot the Gospog. So that's an 11? I doubt that.
Shoot the Gospog.
11 does not hit. Do you want to spend a possibility?
No.
All right. So there's this blast of coherent light that scorches the ground, and if you two were not aware, are you going to take an extra turn at the end of this one? Or are you putting that into play?
No, I'm putting it in. I can't use it yet. I put in Flurry.
If you were not aware that you were being attacked by Reapers, Edith, Genvieve's hard light laser acts as a tracer round and reveals these Gospogs of the 4th planting right in front of you. What do you do? It's Edith or Tyrannic's turn.
I am looking up different types of bolts that I have with Boltsmith.
So is one close to Edith and one close to me? Is that the situation?
One is on top of Edith and one is on top of you.
Oh, oof, okay. Okay. Well, Edith, if you're still looking at bolts, I think I'm just gonna. Oof. So, like right next to me, is that so?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna clot's eyes. Just let's get jazzy.
You mean the soft vegetal expressions where the eyes would be?
Yeah, wherever they perceive the world, I want to claw.
Go for it.
Okay. Okay. So it's a 16 to hit it?
It is a 16 to hit it.
Rolled.
It is a 16 to hit it with a ranged attack. If you were trying to hit it with a in melee, it is a 17.
Oh, bummer. Okay, well I rolled a 16, so even though I'm like right in front of it, I guess I will.
You do get +2 to attack them because they are large. So you actually technically got an 18.
There you go. Okay. Cool. So my claws. Ooh, so my claws do +5 damage and armor piercing +2.
Okay.
Okay, so what do I roll for damage?
So you just got a regular success. So what's the base damage on your...
Oh, so that'd be a 14.
Okay. So a 14, and it's AP2, you said, correct?
Yes.
By 1. So, Tyrannic, you come in and you claw this thing, and a bunch of vegetal matter and bone fragments go flying, but it doesn't seem that affected.
Does Peaches get a turn?
Peaches does get a turn.
Can Peaches try and distract the one that's, or I guess attack the one from behind the Edith that's going for Edith?
Yes.
I think this is Peach's first combat, by the way, so pretty cool.
Good luck, Peaches.
Okay, so he's got... Okay, so he does claws.
And then Edith, you will
So
be
I
up
guess-
next.
I guess he rolled a 15 to hit,
Which
Do
is a
we-
17. Did you add the +2 for it being a large target?
so it hits then.
It hits. Go for it.
Okay. Cool, so he gets strength 6. So that's a 7.
A total of 7 damage.
Yeah.
Peaches just rakes at this thing's back, and it doesn't seem to have much effect. Edith, you can see Tyrannic and Peaches valiantly fighting, but not making much headway. You know these things. They're tough bastards.
Yeah, I regret very much that I did not know that we'd be facing creatures from Orosh, because I'd have a wider variety of bolts. But I do have some giant killer bolts on hand.
Go for it.
So I'm going to shoot the one that's coming at me. Uh, 16?
With the +2 to hit, that will be an 18, so that does hit.
Okay. And the giant killer bolts do damage of 15.
Awesome. And do they do, are they armor piercing?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. The 15 was something else. The Victorians developed these heavy bolts to take down the Gaunt Man's biggest horrors. They cause +5 damage against large or greater creatures. So +5 to my 13 is actually 18 damage.
Ooh, an 18 damage. All right. All right, so that will inflict a wound on it, but you can see as it attempts to summon change reality and pull, get the wounds to reseal. We'll see if that works. Not with a 1. It takes the wound and it likes it. This giant killer bolt strikes the center of the Gospog in front of you, and it just blows a hole in the center of it. The thing goes tumbling back, and I need you to just give me a straight D20 roll, Edith.
Five?
A 5.
I have to tell you, I'm not impressed with any of my dice right at this moment.
All right. We'll spend a possibility on that to bring it to an 18. And 5. There is a wet tearing noise as Pazuzu takes out the one that you just struck. He kind of appears in a bloody mist behind the Gospog and just kind of pulls the hole that you blew in it, Edith, apart. You're not going to give me angst about destroying these, correct?
Correct.
Go
All
Tim.
right. New card, new round. Look out! Heroes surge. So you're going to have to make a surge check. But you do go first, and attacking is the approved action. Now, you do see both guards are now aware that the Reapers did not just gut the two of you, and that that person in the bloody uniform isn't one of their own. So these two guards are now very aware, and you can hear Grigori yelling, "Alarm! Alarm! Intruder Storm Knights have breached the perimeter. Capture them. Their blood will be most potent." Who is going first?
You guys, I went first last time, so you guys are welcome to go. There is a flurry in the pool if someone wants to use it.
Oh yeah, I have to put a card in the pool.
Yeah, do not forget to do that.
So there's two guards that are nearby, and they're coming at us too now.
They will be coming at you, yes.
Yeah, Edith, you want to go first?
Yes. Are there more Gospogs?
There is the one Gospog on Tyrannic.
All right, I will shoot that one with another giant killer bolt.
Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Dropping to a knee, Edith spins around with her other giant killer bolt and lets it fly.
Uh, 19 plus 2, 21.
A 21 is actually a good success, so you will get to add a bonus die of damage against this thing. So we have 18 as the base damage, and then go ahead and roll your bonus die.
Okay, so it's 18 plus whatever the dice
Yes.
give me. That's a 5, so it's a 23.
I mean, that's really good, Edith. All right, I have to spend a possibility point to try and soak this. Otherwise, it will inflict 2 wounds. And that's a 10, a 25. But the law of perseverance is in effect, so I need to make sure that I do this correctly. 25 is plus 8 to their spirit, which is 18, which is only a good success. So it still takes 1 wound. You know that in Oroche, things are not nearly as tough as they are in other cosms and in other realities. V, from your perch, you can definitely see guards have started to pour out of the buildings, responding to the cries of alarm. They're not quite sure what's going on yet, but it's very clear stuff is about to go really, really south. Edith, did you put another card in play?
Master plan.
All right, and then please also give me a surge check.
All right. 15.
You are fine. Who is next?
So he's not dead, the one that's on top of me?
He is not dead. He is merely pissed off and wounded.
I think I'm going to call Peaches over for the assist.
Okay.
Oh, nice. So 17, so 19 total to hit, so...
Okay, so that'll do base damage.
And then, so yeah, then 7 damage.
Okay, so that's not going to do anything to these guys. They're that tough. By the way, Edith, you did get a drama card for successfully attacking.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Tyrannic.
All right, okay. All right, well... I guess I'll probably try and take a step back and then breathe fire on him.
Go for it. Make your fire breathing attack.
All right. And so Hold on, I have to see what I have to hit here. So the target's dexterity.
The target's dexterity is 14, but you get to add +2 to the roll.
Oh, okay. I got a 15.
So a total of 15 with the +2?
Yeah, with the total 15.
All right, so that's. Do you want to spend a possibility on it? Because that's just going to be base damage.
Yes, I will spend a possibility on it. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so that'll bring it up to 20.
All right, a 20 is a good success. So what's the base damage on your fire breath?
The fire breath is a 16, and then a good success is +1 battle die.
Bonus die. Yep, go for it.
So +3.
All right, spending a possibility here. To soak, and another for a bonus die. All right. Tyrannic, you breathe fire. You can see the cowl just kind of burns back away, revealing the skeletal face with these, again, the vegetal vines and just rotting matter that's kind of hanging down, giving it sort of a, like the visage of someone who's rotted in a swamp. And it just lowers its jaw and it screams back in your face. Genvieve, you are up.
Okay, how do ranged weapons work in this?
How so?
So, like, my laser has a range of 50, 100, and then 500.
Right, so if you're outside of the first range band, you take a -2 and then a -4. Tyrannic, you gained the alertness card.
Okay, and how far away is the ritual platform from me?
About 150 meters.
So more than 500?
No, I believe the range of your weapons are in meters. Let me double check.
Oh, okay. Cool. So next question, is that truck that delivered the silver box
It's
still...
in meters.
Oh, sweet. Still near the pit?
The truck is near the dim thread trees.
Oh, okay. Is there anything, flammable and or explosive near the pit?
No. In fact, it looks like most of that stuff has been kept pretty far away in supply depots on the far side of the buildings.
Okay. Then my next question is there anything flammable and or explosive near us?
Flammable, probably. There are wooden crates. There are... nothing really stands out as explosive, though, here. It looks like they've taken very good care of keeping that away from the pit. Almost as if they don't want things to go boom next to here.
Okay. I was just trying to see if I could, light something on fire to create a barricade between us and whoever's coming.
No, there's open spaces between the buildings to allow people to move about. There's nothing that's right now, at least right now, is blocking the paths to allow to prevent people from coming to run up to you. You are in a telephone pole, though, essentially.
Right. I was going to either try and blow up something near the pit because I have the range in the sight line, or I was going to try and prevent people from getting too close to us. But instead, I guess I'll just shoot one of these guards that's right on top of us because I don't think I can get high enough to hit the Gospog. So. No, I don't. I don't shoot them.
Okay.
That was a 5, so that's a -4. So I'm assuming a 6 doesn't hit.
That is fair. Are
them.
you staying on the pole at this point?
Yes, because I want to be able to see what's coming.
Okay. All right. It is now the villain's turn.
Did the
What about
Asprat go?
Yeah, what about Pazuzu?
Oh, Pazuzu gets to go. Tyrannic, give me a
Did not-
d20 roll.
Oh, natural 20.
I don't like that. Roll again.
Hey. Oh, roll again?
Yeah, it's a 20.
Oh, 17.
So a 37.
Yeah.
All right. Pazuzu, following, kind of just sort of steps up to aid after Edith has blown a hole in it. And are we going to kill all of the flesh bags that are running this way?
Mm-hmm.
You are horribly outnumbered. V, one of the shots is coming towards you. One of them is coming towards, from a scared soldier towards Pazuzu and goes wild. V, what is your dodge?
It is a 10.
And what is your toughness?
It's 11.
Alright, so I'm up by 5, so that's a bonus die of damage, and your toughness is 11, you said.
Yes.
Alright. Leveling his MP443 at you. He is going to do up 6. So that will be a wound and 2 shock as he shoots you. There's just this burst of fire from his pistol. And kind of traces a shot up the side of your body.
Okay.
Are you just taking it? All right.
Oh, no, I don't. Never mind.
Okay. This one is called Take It to Them. Heroes get to go first. Villains will go second. Attack or maneuver are our approved actions. Edith, you and Tyrannic can both see that there are about a dozen soldiers running towards you.
I think I will use repel on those dozen soldiers to try and push them back.
So repel is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the thing. Using repel on a dozen soldiers is
Brilliant.
pushes away all hostile characters. All right. Go ahead and give me your faith roll to invoke your miracle.
All right.
Of equal strength or less. Those affected are pushed back 5 meters and are stymied. All right.
Yes, I got a 18.
All right. So that would be a good success. Yes.
I think so.
Tyrannic
Yep.
coming in clutch.
An 18 is a good success. So your what's your faith?
My faith is 12.
All right. So it will affect them if they have a strength of 14 or less, which they do. So the guards, the soldiers who are running in are stymied. All right, so that's your action. You have repelled them for the time being. Does not prevent them from shooting at you, but the V and Edith, what are you doing?
You said attack and maneuver?
Attack and maneuver.
Can I try? This is gonna hurt, but can I try and slide down the pole in a rather rapid descent, like my feet down the pole,
Okay.
and maybe try and shoot one of them at the same time, because
Sure.
you know, so big, because
That-
nothing else is working.
That will be a multi-action.
Okay.
Maneuver and attack. Fire or energy weapons in your case.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I rolled well for once. Okay, so maneuver. So it's -2, right?
It is -2.
No, okay, so maybe not as great. Maneuver, that'll be an 11. And energy weapons would be an 11 as well.
All right, so an 11 and an 11. All right, you make it down with no issues whatsoever. It's
Cool.
a little splinters, but nothing that you can't take care of with some tweezers. And you got a 11 on... so what's the base damage of your weapon?
It's 14, and do we want me to use this, guys, or do we want me to wait, or so someone else can use it for something else? I get an extra bonus damage die.
Go ahead and use it.
Cool. I'm gonna roll a d6.
All right, go for it.
1.
So what's your total damage?
15.
15. All right, so you catch this guy in the head, and you definitely see the soldier reels a bit, taking their helmet off. There's a smoking hole along the side where your laser just kind of grazed them, and they shake their head, and when she looks up at you, you can see she's got these stark, like pale blue eyes that looks like her bell has been rubbed. Edith, you are the last one left, and then
Do I get a card?
you do
Or
get a
two?
card. You do
Do
get.
I get 2
You
cards?
only get one, and it's another coup de grace.
Sweet.
So, are they chasing us in like a pack?
They came out of the buildings. They are now swarming towards the entrance between the two buildings where the massive pole is. So yes, you get the feeling that they are coming for you, and alarms are now blaring through the compound.
Okay. So there's not really a maneuver to lead them off somewhere,
Hey, do you want to go try and run into the
because that would be
forest,
more
or-
like a trick, right?
That would be more like a trick, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. There's too many choices, or not enough choices. I'm clear this time.
Can you maneuver the remains of the Gospog into the...
I don't really want to touch the remains of the Gospog, but okay.
Totally fair.
Yeah. Can I maneuver around them and head for the guy in the robe?
You could try. They all
It would be a
kind
difficult
of
maneuver.
They all, yeah, it would be a very difficult maneuver as they all stand between him and you.
I feel the need for inspiration at this time, y'all.
Can you figure out how to maneuver us out of here, like around and away from them, so we're not here when they, get here?
Yeah. Is there a direction that people are not running from? Not running at us from?
You can run back the way you came. You can run into the forest. You have definitely kicked the hornet's nest.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I will tell people we got to get out of here, and we'll run back into the forest, but try to trick them and get lose them in the forest.
All right, give me a trick roll.
And she gets advantage because this is her favored terrain.
I think you're crossing the streams. Never cross the streams.
You might be reaching. I'm playing my hero card as a possibility.
Okay.
16 on the trick.
Nice. All right. All right, so Edith, you book it out of there. Pazuzu kind of steps up, looks back at Edith running, looks to the two of you, looks to the 12, looks to the two of you, looks back to Edith. And sighs. And
You're allowed to run away!
he kind of steps up between the two buildings. And James is going to have to look something up real quick.
Oh no. I'm just gonna say, despite what the Deathless said, bringing Pazuzu along has been a solid choice. I mean,
I think we're lifelong friends at this point. So
I mean,
I don't know.
it hasn't bitten us in the ass yet.
yeah.
I like how "yet" has come up.
I am wearing the remains of someone else.
Edith is a monster hunter and knows. Yeah, Edith knows that just because it hasn't bitten us in the ass yet doesn't mean it's not going to.
All right.
Fine. It's totally fine.
So Pazuzu kind of steps into the gap, and he is going to make a check. That ain't bad to start. That's an 18. Possibility plus 15. 18 and 15 is 33, yes?
The real question that I have at this time is why does he get so much more possibility than we do?
He doesn't. He only... Me as the GM or Pazuzu?
Yes, you, JM the GM.
I get 6 just for the fact that you guys are beta clerics. Thanks, Greg. That's a great rule. Not counting the 3 each that the Reapers brought to the table. Pazuzu is something different. All right, so that's an outstanding success.
Yes.
All right, so you just see Pazuzu kind of stands there in that corpse that it's wearing, the aspirant bound into the head. And he lets out this cry that you actually see splits open the skin on his neck.
Ugh.
And the 12 kind of all as one take a step back. And Pazuzu turns and goes, "Run!" They then shoot at Pazuzu.
Never thought I'd shed a tear for a techno demon, and yet here we are.
All right, there is a withering storm of bullets and fire. The next round is That Old Chestnut. Taunt and Trick is the approved action. Heroes go first, and villains are fatigued. What are you guys doing? You can see the bullets tearing through Pazuzu's corpse-inhabited body as he just kind of stands in the gap of the buildings.
Okay, team. Do we leave Pazuzu to stand in the gap? Do we help Pazuzu? What do we want to do?
I feel like Greg gets a possibility. Continue. What do you guys want to do? Edith is in the woods.
Right. Well, I'm going to start heading towards Edith so we can get lost in the woods. And I guess try and take pot shots at the people who are trying to shoot Pazuzu? Is that an okay thing?
That is totally fine for you to do.
Okay. How far away are they? Do I have to subtract anything?
What's your first range, man?
50.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, 6 isn't going to do me a whole lot of good, so it's totally fine. But it's even, so I don't hit Pazuzu, so we're good there. I've learned that one.
I think he is grateful for that.
So I will run to where Edith is ducking into the woods.
All right. So that's his last. All right. So Edith V is there running with you. What's your plan? Where are you leading? You're trying to trick them as you go into the forest. Are you trying to leave the crater? Or are you trying to, where are you trying to go?
I'm trying to get them lost. Well, I'm trying to make them think that I'm trying to leave the crater, so that we can get around them and get to the guy in the robe.
Okay. All right. So you are tricking, kind of leading through the forest. V took her turn. Tyrannic, what are you doing?
Okay. So the chat says I should ask you about aim and vital shot. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, they definitely do. So aim is you sacrifice your turn aiming to get +4 to your next attack roll. You can also be using you could be using peaches to make interaction attacks. So like tricks or maneuvers to make a creature more vulnerable. And vital shot does not ring a bell. Do they mean all-out attack, get +4 to your attack total, but are very vulnerable?
Okay. Are there any vehicles in the area?
Yeah, there's the 2 jeeps and the truck.
Okay. And is the truck on our side of the wall of people?
The truck is on your side of the wall of people.
Okay. Okay. I think I like that plan. So
if they're talking about called shot, thanks, Mr. Furious. Called shot, yeah, you take a penalty to hit to do +4 damage if you hit.
Okay. I think I want to get to the truck.
Okay.
While Pazuzu is taking care of our army of people. I want to either, put it in neutral or something like that and push it towards the pit while lighting it on fire. Is that way too complicated?
I mean, you get to take multi-actions, so the real question is, how are you going to light it on fire? How are you going to get past the buildings and the crowd? They're not just that group of that mob of soldiers is sort of between you and the pit.
Oh, bummer. Okay. All right. Well,
can you drive the truck at the crowd?
Yeah, I think I know how to drive. Right? I've probably learned that at some point.
Didn't you fly the helicopter for us?
Do you have any ads in land vehicles?
No, I do not.
Well, then you will default. Land vehicles is not a skill that requires ads in it, but you will just use your dexterity.
Okay, I think I want to. I think I want to take the truck then. Maybe plow it into one of those towers so that the tower might fall in the pit with sparks and explosions and all that
So there
kind
are
of good
no
stuff.
towers around the pit. There are just the poles with the speakers.
Yeah, yeah. Anything that could light things down there on fire.
I feel like they have wires on them, and they probably are electrical wires and could spark.
Yeah, they're electrical, right?
All right, go for it.
Okay.
This is gonna become. Oh no! I just lost the end of like. What is it where they ramp themselves into the Grand Canyon? This is all.
Is it Thelma and Louise?
Us?
Okay, all right. So what do I roll to I don't want to go over the pit. I want to crash the speaker into it. That's what do I roll to do that?
All right, so this will be a multi-action.
Okay.
You're going to give me a dex roll at -2.
Ooh, okay.
Can you breathe fire on the truck, Tyrannic?
I can't breathe fire on the truck. Will that help the situation?
Not right at this moment.
With a -2, it's still a 14.
All right. So Tyrannic, you get down to the circle of dim thread trees, and you can see as you get down there, they're of varying sizes, and they exude kind of this aura of malevolence. And you can see that none of the guards that you saw here are here. They were all taking that. Oh no! Don't worry, Mr. Furious. I remember. They are going to. They're taking this into a. They're all gone from here. You can see where the tracks lead into the largest of the dim thread trees. Now, you get into this car, or the pickup truck. The keys are there. You start it up, and you are driving for the pole, the nearest pole. Right? To knock it into
I think
the
so.
pit.
Yeah, it could still hit the pit.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. All right, Tyrannic, you drive this thing. You start it up, and you drive it right into one of these poles. Now, as it hits, I do need a roll from you. Give me a strength roll.
That's a 15.
15 total? All right.
Yes.
So I've got good news and bad news for you. The good news is you knocked that pole right over. It was just put down deep enough to kind of support someone climbing up there and attaching a very light box. The bad news is it doesn't stop you from, like, continuing forward towards the pit. So on the next round, we're going to see if you have time to bail out or if you feed the pit.
I think I was gonna say I think Peaches might come for the assist in a dramatic rescue. If I don't know if that's possible.
Peaches is not that strong. I'm just gonna toss that out there.
Okay.
So as you hit this thing and kind of continue forward, you see the 12 guards, Genvieve and Edith. You hear the gunfire again. You don't see what happens, but Tyrannic, you do. Pazuzu goes down in a hail of gunfire. To your left are the 12 guards who are standing around Pazuzu to make sure that this creature is dead. To your right, you can see another 6 guards who have formed a cordon around the man with the robes. And you see Rasputin's heir, as you kind of are driving, it all slows down. He gives you the most evil grin. We're gonna do one more round of combat, and we're gonna pause it there for tonight, just to let everyone know. All right, so the next card is, I know, but that's just sometimes the way it works. We are gonna go with so this top card is Runaway. It is villains go first and get an up this round. Heroes will go second. Defend and maneuver are the approved actions. Now, villains are up first, and so you see Tyrannic, the man known as Rasputin's heir, kind of makes a pulling motion, and you see massive chains just kind of conjure around the front of the pickup truck, driving deep into the frame, and he is going to attempt to pull the truck into the pit.
Can we spend a possibility to narratively tweak this to give Tyrannic a better chance of getting out of here?
He can spend a possibility to give himself a better chance of getting out of there if he has one.
Well, if he doesn't, I have natural leader, so I was going to give him my last possibility to help him get out by shouting, "Jump for it."
By shouting, "Get out"?
Hmm.
Okay, you have natural leader, so if he needs it, you are more than welcome to use to do that. The truck starts to accelerate over the edge as these flaming chains grab it and start to pull it off the edge of the pit. You have a distinct feeling, Tyrannic, that if a storm knight falls into this, bad things will happen. Genvieve and Edith, you clearly hear the sounds of, "We've got this one! Find the other two. Make sure they don't interfere with the transfer." And guards, soldiers start combing the woods for you. What do you do? We're going to start with you two.
I'm going to book it to where Tyrannic is to try and assist him in getting out of here.
There are guards between you and him. You don't know that he's driven the truck. You and Edith went into the woods.
Okay. Then I will... What did you say the two things are? Maneuver or...
For this round, maneuver or defend.
Defend. I don't know. Edith, do you have any good ideas?
I was going to maneuver to keep trees between ourselves and the search party while we make our way in as much of a pitwardly direction as possible.
Sounds
So you're
fair.
trying to
I
cycle
will
back
do this.
around to get towards the pit.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, give me your maneuver roll, Edith.
What does a 10 do?
A 10 total?
Yes.
You get the distinct feeling that a 10 will, at the very least, make your enemies stymied or vulnerable, depending on what you want.
Okay, great.
All right, so
I feel good about it.
Edith is ducking and weaving and like doubling back and leaving false trails through the forest. Genvieve, what are you doing?
I'm going to follow her lead. I'm going to try and get to where I can see either Pazuzu or... Because we can't see either Pazuzu or Tyrannic at this point.
No, you heard a hail of gunfire and we took care of the creature. Go find the other ones.
Cool. So I'm going to try and follow Edith.
All right.
She might be in denial about Pazuzu's fate, however.
Genvieve, you can just follow Edith. That is that is totally... I'm not going to make you make a roll for it unless you want to try to do it to get the card. Edith, you get an action card.
Oh, the destiny card that I get is called action.
Yes.
Thank you.
Not the action card that you got is a destiny. Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing we can do, but I'm going to pull my fellow Storm Knights. I still have my Cosm card. It will get us each 3 possibilities immediately, but our dice will no longer explode. Or no, wait. Die rolls from possibilities stand as they are. So if you use a possibility and you get a 1, it's not a 10, it's still a 1.
Yeah, it doesn't kick up to a 10.
But you get 3 more possibilities. But I don't want to inflict that on anybody without...
Well, I'm more or less out of possibilities, so I feel good about it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Sweet. I'm going to play Ominous Portents, flame chains on the truck with our friend in it. Gonna go ahead and toss that in to get each of us 3 more possibilities.
All right. Well, ominous portents as they are, you each get 3 possibilities. Tyrannic, you still have a very bad feeling about this.
Yes, I do. Okay, first, real quickly,
Yeah.
is Take 5 still playing?
Yes, 100%.
Awesome. Okay,
I don't have control over that.
Okay.
I'm just saying in my head, it's still going.
That's fair.
Awesome. And seeing my friend Pazuzu, who I had just said was going to be lifelong friends.
You
I'm
just
gonna
didn't
shed a
realize it
single
was his
tear.
life and not yours.
Well, I'm going to shed a single tear, and I'm going to say I was right. So, I'm very happy with that. And okay, so I am in the.
If we were in the Nile Empire, that would get you points.
It totally would get you
Really?
points.
Good, and I've been in a truck for no one to hear it, but I. So okay, so I'm going over the edge with
You
these
are
chains.
definitely now going over the edge.
You have 3 possibilities to burn. Like, you can just keep...
Yes.
No, you still can only spend 1 on a roll.
Oh, I thought you could... Oh, well, we might have cards. I'm looking
Yeah,
to
and
see if
don't
I-
worry. My plans for next week have been completely derailed, and we'll be back just with the 3 of you next week.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Well, I'm
that's
gonna
a
try.
job well done. Like, you 3, like... I always love when my plans go awry.
Awesome.
You know, I never got those business card printed.
You need to. All right, Tyrannic, what are you doing, bud?
I'm gonna jump out of the car. Hopefully, I can make it before it goes over the pit.
All right, so here's the thing, Michael. You know it's serious when I use your name and not your character's name.
Yes.
All right. This will be a maneuver roll. Now, it was going to be a hard maneuver roll because you're in a speeding truck. You were jumping off, but they got a outstanding success to pull the truck further into the pit. So this is going to be a heroic maneuver roll. That means the DN is 18 for this test.
Oh. Okay. Any special, not Peaches pulling me out of the car, but giving me a boost? Anything there Peaches can do?
I will allow Peaches. I don't know that I've had to read through or quickly flip through this book as much as I have tonight. So again,
Yeah.
well done, all of you.
We're going deep.
You know how I feel
Like-
about that. All right, I will allow Peaches. I'll allow Peaches to give you. How strong is Peaches?
Oh man, I think he's a 6.
I'll allow Peaches to give you a +1. Maybe that last little
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So this is a maneuver roll,
This
right?
is a maneuver roll.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm at a 16, so I got to spend my possibility. Oh, wait, you said Peaches is a +1?
Yep, so that gets you to a 17, which is
17.
not good
Yeah.
enough.
Okay. All right. Plus. That does it. So that gets me to.
Now remember, it does not kick up to 10
Right.
if you roll less than 10. Okay.
Okay. So that gets me to. All right, that gets me to a 21.
All right, so the good news is the truck goes over the edge and Tyrannic makes this leap. Peaches kind of comes down and grabs you by the back of your cape, flapping as hard as he can.
Yes.
And a 21 means you do not fall into your death. However, one claw is all that gets on the edge, and that is where you hang. And that's where we'll pick up next week with Genvieve and Edith running through the woods, Tyrannic holding onto the edge of this pit.
That is a literal cliffhanger. That's what you're doing right now.
I do believe that is what I am doing. So thank you guys for playing tonight. Not at all what I expected. Like, not even a little bit. Can we just have a moment of silence for Pazuzu real quick? If you like Torg, and you like the horror that I've been putting my players through tonight, the Orosh crowdfunding will be going live on Game On Tabletop in 9 days? No, on the 26th. So we're close to that. We will be back next week with more Torg as the group. Will Genvieve and Edith find a way to escape this military base built around a horrible sacred site, supplemented by monks led by someone who dares claim the title Rasputin's heir? Will Tyrannic just let go? Will he be taken captive? What will happen to Peaches? Will he be canned? We don't know. But come out and find out next week. On Tuesday, we'll be back with more Torg. Chat, you are the best. I always appreciate every one of your comments, your jokes. I especially appreciate all of the rules help that you are bringing to me. It's like having a brain trust in the background. And I know you're mostly pulling for the Storm Knights, but Mr. Furious and I are on the same team. So, until next time, check out all the other great shows on the Ulysses International channel. You can find Torg on Tuesday nights. You can find the Oh Boy on Thursday night. They're getting to a new planet, a guild civil war. It should be fine. There is the Ulysses World Show, where you can find out about new crowdfunding. You can find out about the new games that are coming down the line. Eric is doing stuff with Myth Dawn of Heroes, the new iteration of the Myth board game. Ross and I talk a lot about the Myth Tales of Legend, the role-playing game that's coming out. You can find us here on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. You can find some of us on the Iconic Production channels on Mondays and Fridays. And, you know what? Until next time, just stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. I am JM, your GM. These are my horsemen, and soon, hopefully, the group will be back together. But next week is not that week. We will see what happens in 7 days. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next Tuesday. Have a good one.